Go live.
You have another one?
After I introduce it, I might, and then I'll turn it off.
What?
We're live, so they can
So
hear
I'll put
us.
this down there.
Maybe, yeah, I don't know.
What do you mean they've caught us eating?
Yeah.
You mean because you thought it was an hour to go and it wasn't?
Well, whoopsie daisies.
Hi guys.
Hi guys.
Are we
Hi guys.
live?
Yeah, we are. So if I move this out the way, I should start seeing what people are saying to us when they join us. It is public, isn't it? Yeah, it is. Cool.
Cool.
Well, weren't we gonna?
We're very professional, aren't we?
I know. Weren't we gonna use this as like a potential future podcast as well? So this is the start of our first podcast. Is us fumbling around eating pizza.
That sounds like us.
Hi guys. Yeah, that's a new thing that we're going to start doing soon is podcasts. So it'll just be unhinged Peter and Beck.
We're still going to do it with one camera.
Yeah, but like we'll have it on other platforms so you can listen to it and not just watch us.
And use it when you're working out.
Yeah.
Beck will use it all the time. Not.
Leave me alone. So hey guys, welcome to our live stream slash podcast, if this is the podcast. And any questions that you have, you can leave them over in the chat box to whatever side it is. I will ask them to Peter. If you have any questions for me, of course, I'm here, but I'm not as exciting. And yeah, I'll answer them. If I miss your question, I'm sorry. We're going to try and keep this to 2 hours maximum rather than 3 hours. And if there's any problems with audio, let us know.
And if Beck hasn't asked your question within 15 minutes, ask it again.
Yeah. Sometimes we get a little bit behind because I don't know if you guys know Peter, but he tends to ramble a little bit. So sometimes we get sidetracked and then we have like a heap of questions waiting.
Or you just don't like the person who asked the question.
No,
and
it's
refuse to
never
ask
that.
it.
I like everyone. I'm so friendly and nice.
So you say, you're going to ask a question?
Yeah, I'm just going to pop the pizza down because I don't want it on my lap. I'll grab a slice in a second, actually.
We haven't done this for a while and we've been really busy doing workshops in Australia.
We've been absolutely slammed. We only got back from Brisbane on Monday and we've had work every day. So we've got tomorrow off though. Peter's going to the F1, so that'll be exciting for him.
Yes.
I'm not going though because cars aren't my thing. I like UFCs. People are just saying hello.
Hello.
Yeah, hellos. Everyone's joining.
What's with the hands?
I'm saying hello. I got new glasses as well today, guys. How cool are they? I'm unrecognisable. I don't have the black ones anymore. Yeah. What are you looking at?
I was just looking at how well you were lit.
Beck, best doof I've ever been to. It would be Esso, which is my favourite one. It's the one I went to a few weeks ago. It's the best. Probably this one was like the best, just because it was 2 years of being locked down in my house. I had to party in my lounge room. I actually finally got to go out and like be in nature and like stomp in the dirt. It was so good. So yeah, Esoteric is my favourite one that I've ever been to. Is blurry for a wait, hang on. Yeah, is blurry okay for a fashion show? I tend to use it if it looks good, like you do, but would like your thoughts. So I guess like photos.
If you have a look at Vogue, or you watch any of the highest magazines, in fact I have a whole folder with stuff I show people on workshops that I show them a picture and they go, oh my God, and I say, yeah, Peter Lindbergh shot that and that went into Vogue. So I was preaching for the last 2 weeks for all these photographers who turned up to the workshops and they all had camera club heads on, and it was amazing once they started to get rid of it. And one of their biggest things was what makes a great picture is to be razor sharp. And what you tend to do, you'll find a picture, you love it, you'll zoom in 100%, you go, oh, it's out of focus, delete it. So you look at the next picture and it's razor sharp, it's nearly identical to the picture before, but you go, oh, she must have just changed her thought for a millisecond. If you then get that picture and blur it, you go, oh, that looks amazing too. So it was the actual blur that made the picture amazing.
Yeah, you do that thing where you like compare like the sharp and the blur.
Blur. Then the next thing is in relationship to what makes a good picture. So with my mind is the subject. is the most important thing, or what you're photographing. So it could be some dancer pulling this incredible pose. It could be a little kid dropped his ice cream about to cry or piss himself laughing. Or it could be this stunning, beautiful shot and she's just leant in at the moment you clicked. So then you look at your exposure, and yeah, the exposure's all right. So the subject's number one, exposure's number two. The last thing I look at is focus. Unfortunately, a lot of photographers look at focus, exposure, subject. Well, it's the actual subject that makes it a great picture. And there's so many amazing pictures out there. Photographically, they would fail in any competition, but emotionally, they're the best photos ever.
That was the thing that, because as I said, we just finished workshops, and that was like a thing that Peter was drilling into everyone that came, and I was speaking to the models, and one of the models said to me that they were really thankful for you saying that, but like really drilling in how important it is to get the model right and them comfortable and stuff like that. So even when models are saying it, it's not just Peter talking. Christian has currently been confused on what style/colour palette to focus on when they edit. How do you think they can choose? Really torn. Shooting black and white.
Shooting black and white. You beat me to it. Look, it's really, really hard until you start developing a style that you can actually see, this is my style. Then you'll know what you're going to do. I know in my transition from shooting that horrible sort of colory stuff to shooting beautiful black and white, I would be there colour, black and white, the same picture, and not being able to make up my mind. Well, now I just go black and white and Beckyell's out colour. So your eye will train, and if I have to do stuff for Beck or any other model which makes me shoot in colour, I do have some colour palettes that if it's got to be in colour, I'll work with them. So the teal and orange, I do like bleach contrast, which is like Black Hawk Down. So basically the easiest way of doing it is just put a black and white gradient map onto top, and as you bring in the black and white, it's adding contrast but desaturating at the same time, and it gives this really cool look. But then, a lot of people have gone to, at the moment, a lot of the people using LUTs and things like that are more like Once Upon a Time in Hollywood, and that more warm tones. It's the old film looks. It really comes down to finding what one you like the best. And even if it means you got to play for a few hours and spend a couple of months playing around with stuff until you'll look back at the pictures and go, why did I do that colour balance? That's horrible. That will even force you more into your own colour balance that you like. It's hard. You've really got to find your own. I can look back at my old work and go, oh, why did I used to do that style of black and white? Because it's really not my style. And I'll actually have gone back and re-edited a picture to make it more current to what I like.
Yeah, you did that the other week.
Yeah.
No. Beck topless shirt, how much? Well, if you mean the one that Peter's wearing, it is for sale on our website, which there should be a link to in the description. But sorry to kill the fantasy, I didn't have a top on, but nothing was showing.
No,
so sorry to kill the fantasy. I don't do nude, and if you do want a topless photo, maybe like $5 million if you have that spare.
You would do it for $1 million.
I want a yacht.
You can get a yacht for $1 million. So if you want to donate, we should do a GoFundMe page.
For Beck's yacht.
For Beck's yacht.
It's 9 in the morning in the UK and I'm drinking wine. Well, it's currently 6 p.m. here, but that's a really good out because we're going to be in the UK.
And we'll be drinking wine in the morning at 9 o'clock.
But then I can use that. I can say, if I wake up drinking, I can tell you it's 6 p.m.
in Australia.
God, we're bad. Peter's drinking as well. It's just his.
No, I'm not.
Yes, he is.
It's ice.
It's not.
Ice, baby.
Hardly see Gabriel would like to know because they hardly see you shooting in portrait mode, mainly landscape mode. And what is the reason for that?
My eyes see in portrait. Landscape.
Good one.
Well, it is. My eyes see in landscape. So that's what my eyes see, and I can always crop a portrait out of a landscape.
Yeah, like if a client wants something for a magazine, you can always crop it.
But if they want to do a 2-page spread, I can't do a 2-page spread out of a portrait. It's my old training from when I was shooting, predominantly started off shooting magazine. All my Money was magazine. It was in lifestyle and then into fashion. And I learnt very quickly, if I'm going to shoot cars, I shot cars in portrait. Because then that could be a cover, or they can crop it off and it'll be a 2-page spread. I spent a lot of time shooting Hasselblad film, which is square, so you always shot it this way, and I just got so used to this. I really find it uncomfortable to put my camera like that, and I don't walk around with my head on its side. So I shoot way I shoot, and I can always crop it portrait. So most of my cameras are around 50, 60 megapixels, so even if they're only 30 megapixels, I'd still be 100% still shooting the way I shoot.
Justin has said that they have taken a lot of shots that their friends and family back home would not approve of. So facing your friends and family was showing a lot of skin in your photos. They would like some tips.
You take photos for yourself, nobody else. It's the best tip I can give you. Seriously, if you want to be any type of artist, musician or anything, you do what you love and you put your fingers in your ear, you don't listen to anybody. No matter how close they are, no matter how much you might be going against their religions or their morals and so forth, as long as you're not hurting somebody, everyone should be able to have their own style. And if you think back to Madonna early days, she had hell with her dad.
Yeah.
She had a lot of problem, but no, as she said to him, I'm an artist, I need to express the way I want to express myself. And I think she wrote a song about expressing herself.
No, that wasn't Madonna, it's another song.
Anyway, seriously, I've been listening to some really cool podcasts of late. Don't ask me their names because there's too many. They're only little segments, so it might be a podcast. I only listened to one episode because a certain person was on it. I've learnt so much about you can never ever get anywhere in life if you spend your whole life trying to please others because you don't know what the others need or want. Whereas if you, with your art, just go out to make yourself happy, happy enough to stick it on a t-shirt, happy enough to fill your own man cave that nobody ever walks in with your own photography. Yeah. So you walk in, you look at your pictures and go, I can't believe I took that. That's where you'll get your joy. That's what'll make you a great photographer. And then you just go say, sorry dad, sorry mum, this is who I am. Yeah, I can't change, this is what I love. I'm not going to go and shoot puppy dogs because you love puppy dogs.
Yeah, because that's not going to make you happy at the end of the day. You've got to make yourself happy. And
We're
you come first.
Only on the planet for a very short time.
And also, like, you're the only person that has to spend 100% of your entire life with you.
Yeah, exactly.
No one else,
You're getting philosophical.
I know, look at me though. It's in my old age. Dave has said, morning Pete, know you love your 0.95 50mm. You should try the Samyang 75mm 1.8, super small and light.
I'll put I don't know what mount that is, but I'll put it down. I've just, what was it,
Samyang.
I've just got myself a 75 and 75 1.4. But it's a lens that was made back in the 70s, Leica.
Oh, that one's cool.
And that one's absolutely to die for. In fact, I like that better than the $18,000 Knock Deluxe 75. So I saw YouTube and saw the two together and liked it. But yeah, I'll definitely have a look at that, but I doubt it's going to make me not shoot with the Leica one. I love that Leica one, it's just to die for.
Sithu, I hope I'm pronouncing that right, would like to ask, how do you guide the model for any type of shoot before or during the shoot? How do you guide them to get the vibe of the shoot? Oh, it just jumped. I hate it when it does that.
The vibe of the shoot.
The vibe of the shoot you have decided on to get the most out of it.
If it's a model that I've trained and worked with, it's quite easy. I can, a couple of words will get there. Mm-hmm. If it's a model I've never worked with, it really depends on the model. We had a couple on our workshops. I said to Beck, one of them's this girl's going to be really hard. She was really pretty and everything, but I just thought, I only look like this, I got to be like this, and every hair is dead straight input. And it was sort of like, oh, how am I going to break it? I'm not allowed to use that word. No. How am I going to master her?
That sounds weird. I think I prefer break.
So do I. Well, I was thinking about records. You used to cut records, but how am I going to cut her? It's even worse.
That sounds worse.
Anyway, I was sticking with break. Anyway, I'm not political.
People can get angry.
They can get angry.
We're not
but
breaking their
is
spirit,
not
we're
spirit,
breaking their bad habit.
Getting rid of their bad habits and teaching
So
them how
if
to model
everyone
properly.
could please
Yeah.
hush about that.
We had a very strong, her job is in politically correct speech and that. But I asked her for a word to redo it, and she could, the best she could come up with.
Was that the lady that did the
Yeah.
She said master.
That was the best word she could come up with.
Yeah, but I think it sounds
Doesn't sound
weird
anything,
when
yeah.
you're like, I'm going to master
Anyway.
the model. Anyway.
I spend a fair bit of time first searching for something you can see their eyes relate to. So I try and find different ways to get them to understand the model on the inside, not on the outside. Once you model the inside, the outside just follows naturally without them thinking. And if it's a model, I'm trying to think, well, someone like Tanya, she has her look. As long as we stay in the genre of her look, she's easy to model. But if I try and take her to something like tough, powerful, she'd fail.
Yeah.
And there's other models you couldn't take to cute and pretty. Tatiana, we could never take her cute and pretty. She's a strong Russian model. So it really then depends on the actual model itself. So we've got a tutorial coming up on Inspire, which I've just finished editing, which is a male model.
Yep.
And I had the similar problem. I could easily teach him how to model, but to get him into a direction was much harder.
And I saw it and I was like, yeah, I could see that you were, but we got there in the end.
Yeah, we got there in the end. He was happy,
guys-
we got him his
yeah.
shots. And
if you guys want to see that, obviously it'll be up.
it's not up yet.
It's not up yet, but it'll be up very soon if you want to check that out. And which also, speaking of that, I'm sorry, I'm jumping a few questions just because it relates. How hard is it for you to shoot me? Well,
Depends on the day.
it depends, but also like we were shooting the other day in Brisbane, and a few of I think the last time we shot Peter, he'll give me like a kind of story and then I can flow into it. But once he's done something once, it doesn't necessarily work again the next time. So it is kind of hard because I feel like you've got to come up with
a complete
new story.
But towards the end of the shoot, I did.
You did. You got to the story, and then we got the awesome shots.
Yeah.
We just needed a new
The
story.
M&M sandwich.
Which isn't about the M&M the rapper, by the
No.
way. It's a different. Anyway.
Well, that got us the shot, didn't it?
It did.
That little sequence was the best. In fact, if you jump on Instagram, we put that up. Yeah,
we did. It was the
2
last,
days ago.
Yeah, the last one of me.
Yeah, that's the M&M sandwich. It's not dirty or anything.
Sounds like it is though. David said new glasses, new life for me. No, not a new life, still same life. But yes, new glasses. I am changing it up. I've still got some new black thick rims as well, but I like these ones.
Am I brighter than you?
Well, it's because you turned your beauty light on.
No, that's behind me.
Oh. Well, you're wearing white.
Oh, all right.
And I'm just an emo in the corner. Where was I? Keith is telling me to tilt my chin down. Yeah, I know, it's really dark and I have to, but I don't like, sorry, I'm a chin up person, but I'm getting reflection in my glasses, I'm sorry. David would like to know how to prevent being flashed by a model in a photo session and keep concentrated in the photography session itself.
Getting flashed as in a bit full out?
I think so, yeah.
Well, we normally use tape. We just use this white masking tape, white painter's tape. It doesn't stick very well, so it doesn't hurt the girls taking off. We just cut it in a square. At the end of the day, most women like cleavage, maybe 70% of women like side boob, maybe 50% of women like under boob. All of them don't want the middle bit to show. So we just stick, especially if we're doing stuff with open shirts and that, I still find it better to put a bit of tape there, because at worst happens they flash their shirt, they're flashing me a piece of tape. It makes them more comfortable and not as stiff. And at the end of the day, I just want the more relaxed and more comfortable a model is, the better the picture I'm going to get. I have some models that it won't be an implied shot, it might just be bare shoulders, but they're more comfortable being topless because that's just them. And there's other models that want that implied look and everything like that, but they're so much comfortable. If they've either got a strapless bra on or tape on there, we'll get much better headshots out of them. And all I care about are the eyes, so.
Yeah, you're not looking anywhere else anyway, so it doesn't really matter. And another question from David: when you see a woman as a candidate for posing, do you see beauty as a pleasure of your eyes or as money?
No, money doesn't come into my life.
Yeah, no, if you're shooting for you, you're shooting for...
Even though I'm shooting with clients.
Yeah, you're not chasing, you're not greedy.
Money is definitely 100% not one of my passions. I want to have money to be able to live without worrying about paying bills and that type of that sort of stuff. But it's not the reason I pick up a camera. The photo is the reason I pick up the camera. That finished photo is exactly why I pick up a camera every day.
Yes. It's 9 a.m. in Scotland and I'm eating porridge with whiskey sauce.
Oh, we're not going to Scotland this year.
We're not going to Scotland, but we will be going to other awesome places. I cannot wait. Flights will be booked very soon. Well, I feel better once the flights are booked.
Anyway,
but we are going to be there. If
anyone who doesn't know, where we're going?
Anyone who doesn't know, we will be in Zurich, then Geneva, then Milan, then London, then Amsterdam, then Frankfurt, then Paris, and then
Deadmau5.
And then we're seeing Deadmau5 live. And I miss out on my favourite DJ in Melbourne during that, but that's okay.
I said you can fly back early.
Maybe I'll see if Jared wants to swap places.
I'm not paying for Jared's airfares.
I know, I was joking. But yeah, so that's where we will be, and we'll be there really soon. So that's starting at the beginning of May. If you do want to come see us in real life, there will be a link in the description. I could also probably put it in the chat as well. Anyways, back to questions. Sorry, guys. Nicholas would like to know, what are your current source of revenue with photography?
Changed a lot because of COVID and because of the fashion industry. It's pretty much died worldwide. So you've only got e-commerce or lookbook crap. And yeah, that's
There's a few cool designers. Like there's a designer in LA that we work with.
Oh yeah, but there's not many.
Oh yeah, but like that's...
You can't just go out and find her.
No.
No, she finds the photographer she wants. So you've got to, that type of thing. We've got our cool we've got the cool people that have been around forever. That's not changed, but the world as a whole has changed. Unless you're in the preferred photographers for Vogue, ID, Numero and all of those, you've got very little chance of getting those magazines unless one of your clients is prepared to pay for an advertorial into those magazines, and then you do it for normally nothing, but you get the promotion from it to shoot lookbook and e-commerce. The world's changed a lot in regards to that. I still chase the hero shot work, so campaign pictures, in advertising, in fashion, whatever, but I'm not looking for the commercial e-commerce or that. It's just boring. Sitting there all day, not going to even fire it from the computer, sit there all day doing that. Not interested one little bit. And of course, because lots of people do it, the rates have come down and really I make more money per hour retouching than I charging for retouching for shooting if I do that stuff.
And it's not what you want to be doing. It's boring. You'd rather be getting the hero shots than doing the lookbook.
Yeah, we've still got our long-term clients that aren't a problem. They're sort of stuck with us right through. But then we've had to divert a little bit, so the education side of things gone up another notch. But with that said, it's something I'm really enjoying. I'm actually enjoying it more than some of the clients we used to work with.
It's a lot more enjoyable because even over Sydney and Brisbane, which we've just come back from, it was both like after the Sunday sessions, me and Peter both went back to our Airbnb and both of us were just on such a buzz because we felt awesome after seeing everyone have that light bulb kind of moment, and it was...
Yeah, just really watching people look at the back of their camera going, I can't believe I took that. And it wasn't like incredible hair and makeup, it wasn't $1 million set, it wasn't, it was something I could walk out and do in 2 days' time, but I can't really, you see this buzz, and that buzz is like
and then it comes back onto us, and then we were all, so it was, and you've changed the way that you teach,
Yeah, a lot more of it's back to getting people to enjoy photography. And unfortunately, as soon as you start talking about money, you're going to destroy your photography. It really...
It's a bit of a downer.
Yeah, it's a big... Like, we all need money to live, and I know all of that, and I'd shot wedding parties, anything to start, to make that transition from shooting fishermen to fashion. And I just knew that, all right, I'm going to do 4 days of absolute... I hate work, but I'm going to shoot for 3 days just for my folio so I don't have to keep shooting that work. And those 3 days would fix me for those 4 days. I hate it. And it got to a point where someone says a wedding, I'd say 20,000. They go, yeah, all right. I go, oh no, sorry, that was 20,000 a minute. Because I just don't want to do it. It's just not what I do.
You can shoot my wedding.
30,000 a minute.
I guess we're going to kind of, no, I'm not going to say too much. How could a
Why?
model blackmail a photographer and then vice versa? How could a photographer blackmail a model?
Why would you want to?
Yeah, you wouldn't want to.
It'd be nasty people. If you're trying to blackmail people, yeah, no.
Yeah.
No, yuck.
Now, Derek is planning to sell a kidney to pay for the UK workshop as his student grant will not cover the cost. I'm sorry.
That's right. If Beck would actually let you have a free get in there if you give her one of her kidneys for later on in life.
You can give me a liver. We'll put it on
liver.
ice.
Yeah, it's the liver you want, isn't it? And put it on ice.
Because they need a liver, so I could take a kidney. Okay, that'll still come of use to me.
Yeah.
So I'll take your kidney and we'll keep it on ice, and then you can come for free. How does that sound?
Yeah, sorry, with the pricing of the workshops overseas, it is very hard. Like some of the studios are 1,800 euros a day, and that's just for an empty studio. Then one of them wants to charge a meterage rate on the electricity, and then the lights, and then
we've got
per
our
seat, and per stand, and per table.
And then we've got our flights, we've got our accommodation. Like, we've still got overheads here, so it does get quite expensive when we're traveling. I'm really sorry. I do try and work it as fair as I can, but yeah, I'm really sorry that they are a bit expensive.
We've tried to structure our teaching to, as long as you can put up with YouTube ads, it's free.
Or you could pay for premium.
Or you can pay for premium, so there's
YouTube.
$10 a month or whatever it is, and you don't get ads, and we're costing $10 a month. Or you can come into Inspire at whatever country you're in, around $20 to $30, pounds, euros, or whatever you're in. And then the next level about that is our workshops, which is the one on, well, what do you call it? In analog?
3D.
In 3D.
3D.
In 3D. So there's a difference in price depending on the level you want to be. But even with Inspire, with something we've got on Inspire now, you can do one-on-one tutoring with me and it doesn't cost you any more than the Inspire subscription.
Yeah, you just jump on.
So you can just jump on, ask me a question, I explain it out live to you.
It's like a little video chat as well.
Little video chat. So things like that. You can pick my brain like crazy, but it's, yeah.
He could talk underwater, so.
It's this thing that some of the people with the least amount of money will make some of the greatest photographers in the world. So I don't want to restrict them to my thoughts about the open mind and open way of thinking when you take photos, rather than the closed little box way that universities try and put you in.
True. How important is a cyclorama wall in a studio?
Not that important.
They're just building one and the budget is tight and they have seamless paper.
Yeah, it's not that. It depends on what your clients are. We tend to only use it for my funky art stuff, my edgy stuff, the big white one.
Yeah.
This one wouldn't even have to be.
Oh no, we use the white one for when you do some lookbook stuff with a high key.
Oh yeah, but I could have done that on paper.
Yeah, true.
So yeah.
But this one, we use that when you do your funkies.
Funkies, and when you used to do cars and furniture and things like that. But it's not that important. There's quite a few sites, quite a few studios we looked at around the world that don't even have sites, don't they? Some of the studios we've looked at around the world don't even have a site.
Yeah, I've been looking for that. I know I noticed a few that I was looking at in Europe. They didn't have one, but actually there's quite a few. But
I think that the best thing is if you can set up a fashion shooting area, which is white wall and either a concrete or timber floor, just like most of the designers have, where they take their test pictures before catwalks and things, and then you could drop a white seamless roll of paper on that, especially if you can get a 5 metre one. That's even better. I'd be happy using that for 90% of the fashion shoots I do for e-commerce and that.
Is it acceptable to have watches in an outdoor photo session? And is it acceptable to have photography by third parties? Typically no, I would say.
Watches, what do you, like watches on your wrist or people watching?
No, people watching.
Yeah, not in a commercial shoot.
No. I'd say, and it really puts the model off. We did a commercial shoot a few weeks ago with Rara in the city, And it was really hard. We try and pick like secluded spots, but even when we have to do like out in the open places like Flinders Street Station, people that stand there and watch, it's kind of rude on their behalf, and it also just really puts the model off. And so it's, I don't know, but I guess you can tell them to buzz off, or
that legally they don't have to.
Legally they don't have to,
And
so then you're going to get into fights.
Yeah,
so
then you're going to attitude back.
I think just you as a person, if you see someone doing a shoot, you should just keep walking. I mean, like, you could walk past and have a look, but no, like having people standing there watch, it's really off-putting for the model. And yeah, people taking photos of it. I mean, you can't stop them, but it's a bit, how you going?
The one I did with Nicole in New York, was that on
It's on
YouTube?
Inspire.
No, Nicole in New York.
Yeah, it's on Inspire.
Oh, is it?
Yeah.
But we did it live stream, so it wouldn't have been on
Oh,
Inspire.
I think I don't know, that was before my time. I just know there's one on Inspire.
I think we might even have it on YouTube.
We might,
It
I
be,
don't know.
it'll be, if you scroll to the very early days, you might see one which is me shooting a campaign for Photo Plus in New York. And we're in Times Square, and by 15 minutes into the shoot, there would have been 20 photographers shooting. Because everyone in Times Square has a camera.
Of course, yeah.
So all of a sudden I'm just surrounded. I had to tell them, can you move? I'm trying to do work.
Yeah.
So yeah, it happens, but
All you can do is tell them to buzz off. but
nicely.
Nicely, otherwise you might
End up dead.
have a black eye.
Black eye, broken camera.
Frederick said that they are loving their Inspire membership and so much great content.
Thank
And
you.
They said thank us, so thank you back. We're glad you're enjoying it. We've got
Has he tried Volley yet?
yeah, Peter's like really trying to get everyone to jump onto Volley to have a chat with Peter, because he's not really good at typing, so he prefers, and he can answer, like you answered someone
We had
today.
someone, you can go.
Oh, they asked a question about, they were trying to light a model with an octabox and it wasn't working, and so Peter pulls out the camera to answer him one-on-one and was like, okay, so have your model here and with your light, do this and how do you put that into writing? So
Yeah, it was basically he wanted to lift, he was trying to get the legs more evenly lit, and he was shooting it like that with an octabox. And I said, no, what you should do is, if instead of coming up higher to even out the light, if you come this way, you're going to get a more even spread and turn the power up a little bit. But then you could also just tilt it a little bit to aim more power to the legs. And for me to do that in a text, it was really, really hard. But on the Volley thing that we run, which is, you have to be a member of Inspire. Sorry, unless you're a member, you can't get hold of it. But it's for those people, give them the one-on-one when they're having a problem. I can really quickly and easily answer it. Anyway, we'll jump off.
sorry, I got a mouthful of pizza. Shane would like to know your thoughts about the loss of Patrick Di Marcellia.
Oh, you've asked the wrong person. Sorry to be a downer. I have 5 of his books, but somebody asked me about 3 months ago
On YouTube.
Who's this Patrick Demas something you keep mentioning? I don't know who you're talking about. So I quickly Googled him, brought up his, what's it called? Wikipedia. And just, they're about to send it and I see sexual harassment claims. So I looked into it and found out he was cancelled by Vogue, he was cancelled by every major magazine in the world, and he had predominantly interfered with a lot of very young models and used his position in photography to do this. I can't look at his work ever again because it's something that I'm very, very strong against. It's a
Big no-no.
big no-no, and I had so much respect for him. I put him into the group of photographers I called idols, and when that came out and then you heard all the very big models saying what happened on their first shoots with him and how they refused to work with him afterwards, I started to think, yeah, that's right. And a lot of the models that did these incredible shots when they were very young, I never saw them work after that shoot. So, and look, it was for Vogue World to drop him, and Patrick Di Marcellia was Vogue's main photographer. If you watch the September issue, which was a documentary on the making of the September issue of Vogue, and you watch Devil Wears Prada, he's in both of those. His name's mentioned in Devil Wears Prada. So that's how big he is in Vogue. And for them to completely cut him and never use him again, you know that it wasn't just allegations, there was a lot of truths to it. which is a shame because
heartbreaking.
I used to really adore looking at photography, and unfortunately I just can't anymore. So just jump on the Peter Lindbergh train.
Well, from London, we love London, we can't wait to be there. Have you ever regretted your mighty camera tripod?
My which?
Camera stand.
Oh, the camera, never, not in it is the best thing in the world. No, for a couple of reasons. Number one, you cannot knock your camera over. So the amount of cameras I've seen damaged with tripods. The other thing, it's on wheels. It's really easy just to wheel it round. It might be heavy. The other thing, it's really handy just to be able to lift it and lower it like that. You're not adjusting legs and
This is easy.
it's easy up and down. And when I'm doing my setups, all my setups I pretty much do on the tripod. So my camera and everything's in there, and I don't even have to, I just lean over to hit the shutter button. I don't even have to pick it up, refocus, or any of that sitting there. It makes so much quicker for me to set up. I'm not going to trip over it, and then when I want to shoot, I can always just pull it off there and start shooting. So yeah, when I first got a camera stand, it was a little bit clunky for me, but once I got used to it, now when we travel, if I don't have one in the studio,
You're like, meh. You get sad face.
I get sad. Well, just even adjusting the tripod with a big heavy sandbag on it, it's not easy.
It's annoying, yeah. Do I have anything in the future I would like to do as part of my professional career? Yeah, this.
Eat pizza, drink wine.
Just this. One of my friends recently asked me what my 5-year plan is, and I was like, keep growing our business with Peter, because I feel like it is now our business. So I love my job. Everyone always tells me I've got the best job in the world, and I tell them, yeah, I do. So I didn't have any plans to go anywhere. I just hope Peter doesn't get sick of me. But other than that, I'm happy just growing this and doing what we're doing, just making it bigger and better. And yeah, I don't know. That's my plans, really. Where was I? Sorry. Oh no, it jumped. Now I've lost where I was again. Sorry guys, give me a second. Any plans to visit South Africa? We've never been to South Africa. That'd be cool. I like animals. I've got a friend from South Africa.
What are you calling South Africans animals?
No, because they have animals there.
Yeah, but they have nasty, killy animals there.
I like nasty,
I'd love to go to
killy.
South Africa, but yeah.
Me too. I don't know how many people following we have there though, but we'd love to.
We've got a few, but this little bug got in the way for a couple of years, so it messed up all our long-term plans.
How annoying. If we're traveling, how do we find models?
Tinder. Oh, that's your male models. That's right. I forgot about them.
Luckily, we do have a few models that we've met over the years of traveling, but a lot of the time I do contact an agency and just tell them like, hey, we're coming here, we've got workshops and we've also want some test shoots to set up. Who have you got available for test shoots and workshops? Sometimes they say we don't send our models to workshops, but we're happy to do a test shoot with Peter, and they'll send us a bunch. So do that, or just my good old Instagram. I just start lurking. Normally I normally start by finding a photographer in the area. I don't know, I have my ways. I'm a little detective. I'll find a photographer in the area that we're going to, look at who he's shot, and then just go down a rabbit hole and find models, shortlist them, and then show Peter. And then if he likes them, either email them if they have their email, or send them a DM and hope I hear back from them. If I don't, well, oh well, too bad they weren't interested. So I don't pester them. Like if I email or message a model and they don't reply, I really don't like sending a second message. I don't like it.
Yeah, we don't really do it. It's like,
no, I'm like, oh well, either they haven't seen it or they have seen it and they're not interested. Move on, next one. So that's just me.
Yeah, with my shoots, it's easier because I already have a lot of models that we've met over the years all around the world. But there's a lot of those models are way above workshop level, like they're very high-end commercial models, or they're flying Learjets and silly stuff like that. But we still have unfortunately, a lot of the models we meet are in starting, and then they start growing really quick, and now they're no good for workshops because now they're doing Vogues.
That happens a lot. Stu has said, hello.
Hello.
Or good day even, sorry.
G'day.
G'day, Aussies. Recently I've purchased a Sigma Art Series 1.4 for Canon. Looking forward to shooting a film with it. Any advice for the 1.4 aperture, things to keep in mind?
Just remember when you're shooting, it depends on the focal length. Did you say what length you bought?
No.
The longer the focal length, the wider the aperture, the shallower your depth of field will be. And a lot of people that haven't shot medium format wouldn't realise how shallow it can be, because medium format makes it even shallower. But you might only be looking at 3 to 4 millimeters of what's actually in focus when you're fully wide open on a fairly long lens. If you're using autofocus, your camera's picking up contrast, which is the eyelashes. And if Beck faces that way,
They can see me with my glasses though.
her eyelashes would be at least 10 or 15 millimeters away from the catch light in her eye, which means your catch light in the eyes are always going to be soft. But if you stand back from a model a reasonable way, maybe, well, we're Europe, so it's going to be meters. If you stand back from a model 2 to 3 meters, you really aren't going to be able to see their individual lashes, but you'll still be able to see the catch light in her eye razor sharp. What'll happen is your autofocus will focus on the contrast area, which is the eyelashes, and by the time it hits the catch light in the eye, it's going to be a little bit soft. That's one of the reasons why I shoot manual. It's one of the reasons I went from DSLR to mirrorless, is because I can use things like focus peaking or zoom. And that way I can make sure that the catch light in the eye is razor sharp. I don't care if the lashes are a bit soft.
Yes. So we had 2 questions. They are kind of far apart about shooting to, like playing music while, like shooting to music or playing music when you shoot. Yeah, more often than not, unless we're filming, because if we're filming we can't.
Copyright.
Copyright on YouTube. Some of the Inspires you can hear the music in the background, but it's always what the model wants. So we always get them to put on music, although sometimes it doesn't work, what they want to listen to and then the look they're trying to get.
Yeah, we're trying to do beauty and they're put on emo rap. I don't know who would do that.
No, I didn't do that. We were trying to do beauty and I put on Slipknot.
Slipknot, that's right. But yeah, I normally, and a lot of the models say, I don't care, I listen to anything. So I put country and western on, all of a sudden say, oh, maybe I will pick something.
Well, I wanted to do it to like one of our first shoots with Abby, and we said, what do you want to listen to? And she's like, surprise me. I was like, okay, so do you want high BPM psytrance then?
Yeah. Normally the music, we let them choose, but sometimes I change it to more sit the mood that we're trying to get. So when I was doing the Crying series, I found that it's a Justin Timberlake Blue something, and it's such a sad song, but not even, it's just the way the music's sad. Yes, really, it's a sad song, trust me.
Okay.
Well, you've heard the classical song I played to get emotion.
I know, but Justin Timberlake, really?
Oh, now I've got to find it for you. It's the only song I could get Zoe to cry to. And it worked a treat.
I wouldn't cry to it. I don't
I'll find
cry.
a Bug Called Doug song. How's that?
No, Doug.
No.
During our travels, we unfortunately are not heading to Spain, David. We did last time we were there, but we're not this time. So maybe next time we travel. I don't know. It just depends on our plans. We do try and like to change up where we go, just to.
Yeah, so we're doing Frankfurt for the first time.
Yeah.
We're doing Amsterdam for the first time in like 3-4 years.
Well, I've never been there with you.
Yeah, so that's over 4 years.
Yeah.
And Paris we haven't been. You only came once in 2018. So yeah.
So we'd like to try to.
Whereas with the previous 6 trips all had Spain in them.
We've all had London, but London we've got a pretty big fan base there as well.
Yeah.
So it just really depends, but no, sadly not this trip. What is your go-to lens for outdoor model shoots, Peter?
Depends on what camera I'm on and what I'm shooting. So if I'm shooting fashion, I'm going to tend to be shorter, 35 to 50, and maybe even 16 if it's really quirky.
If it's me.
If I'm shooting back, I'm going to go to a 1000mm f.09, blur everything. No. That really does. I'm doing a lot of recording now on lens selection. I haven't put it together. It's we've done maybe 4 shoots of working on lens selection.
One on the beach.
On the beach, and I've also made a bit of a purchase recently, and I needed to decide why I was going to buy this camera. Then I needed to decide on what lenses I would use on this camera, and then what's the difference with those lenses on my Sony and the new camera before I spent the money. And by doing that, it started to teach me the focal lengths that I like. And I think it's really, really important that you find the focal length you like. That becomes your style. And if you think of Henry Carter Benson, he's like, I think it was 35 or 50 Ansel Adams. You'll find a lot of those photographers have a lens that was predominantly their main lens. At the moment, on my Hasselblad my 100 would be my favourite, so I'm sitting around about an 80mm. On my Sony, it's a bit hard to, I'm liking the older lenses, and I've been buying older lenses now because I'm buying the emotion. I'm not buying sharpness anymore because all our gear is way too sharp now anyway. And I found by looking very carefully, picking the right people to follow on YouTube, so you can actually see this picture, same lens. Not this picture and this picture taken 5 years different.
Yeah.
Completely different. And you can actually look at it and go, oh, I love that feel.
Yeah.
I love the vignetting that's giving. I love the style of the bokeh that's in it. So it might be a sharp swirly or it might be really milky, and you can see the actual what you want in lens. And yeah, my last 3 lenses have been bought based on what I've seen on YouTube and direct comparisons. Like the last lens I bought was a $300 Canon 50mm 1.5 or 1.4, I think, screw mount. And I saw the wide open picture compared to a very, very expensive lens and said, I love that lens, I'd only ever shoot it wide open. But that won't be a lens I'll carry in my everyday kit. That lens is for an exact look. It's very washed out, it's very antique feeling. It's got a bit of vignetting in the corners, but the feel is to die for. So I had someone trying to rip me a new one in one of the comments about emotion in lenses, what a wanker. But seriously, there is. I can now grab 650mm lenses, and 3 of them are so sharp, beautiful. They're very perfect. There's no emotion in them. Then I can grab another 3 lenses. You go, oh, look at this is doing. Look at this is doing. Look at this is doing. This is my style. And it's like 70-200 on the Sony. I don't know what it is. When I had my Canon, the 70-200 was one of my favourite lenses. And it took me a while to actually buy a Sony 70-200. And then when I did, I'm so glad I did, but I only use it at certain shoots. There's certain shoots that I want my 70-200 look, but not all shoots.
Not all of them, yeah. Max would like to know, do you have any tips for models to get more jobs? Put yourself out there.
No, most models' folios are wrong. So crazy hair and makeup shoots, crazy clothing shoots, crazy environments. Everything that you're going to look at, everything in the picture except the model is really bad for their folios, because people are just looking, and a lot of clients will go, yeah, she's pretty, but I don't want that crazy hair. Yeah. They don't even think, well, that's not her everyday hair. That was for the shoot, or I don't like that crazy makeup.
Well, it's just all they can see. They can't even see the model. All they can see is the hair and makeup. And
I go to a fair bit of time explaining to models that the most important thing is their eyes. Their face holds their eyes, and their body holds their head in position. Yeah. And that's the importance. So you want a model, if they want to get some work, emotive eyes. That's how you get campaigns. That's how you get any major big paying jobs. I always say to the models, everything from neck down is not worth a cent. Actually not worth a cent. It's what happens up here is the difference between, so imagine Angelina Jolie and Paris Hilton swapped bodies. Angelina Jolie would still be Angelina Jolie, wouldn't she?
Yeah, exactly.
Right, so then this is the thing. It's really the face, the eyes, the emotion, what they can put at, the looks they can do with their faces is so much more important than anything else.
And it's like what you also teach to a lot of models that, like, yeah, your body is worth nothing. It's here that's real. Like if we put a paper bag on your head and have you standing butt naked, everyone's going to be like, oh, whatever. But if we put a paper bag on your body and they see an amazing face, they're going to say, oh, she'd look hot naked.
Yeah.
And we see that all the time in comments about me because I don't do nude, and everyone's just got this obsession with me trying to get me to take my clothes off.
Well, what about your cam girl folio?
But it's true because I don't do it, and people have this weird obsession because I
it's so
I can get the
obsessed.
eyes right,
Yeah,
and then
yeah.
people have this weird obsession with wanting me to get my gear off.
And at the end of the day, her body's just going to be, if you put a bag on her head and lined 5 reasonably same shaped girls up together, you wouldn't know which one was Beck anyway, except for the tattoo on the inside of her leg.
I don't have one there. Shut up. Don't encourage people, Peter. Jesus. I don't need it. Oh my God.
But yeah, if you think about it seriously, it's the face that makes the model. It's not the body. And I quite often do it on shoots. I'll put my hand over their body, and if the picture got better, it meant their face wasn't good enough for whatever they were wearing. Their face wasn't strong enough to say when I put my hand over the body, it didn't make any change. And vice versa, if you put your hand over the head and the picture got better,
Well, then
that's not
the problem.
good.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, that was a bit of a long thing. I was just going to say putting yourself out there as well helps you get more jobs. You can't just sit there and not do anything and say, why is no one booking me? You've got to go out and do things. You've got to put yourself out there.
And yeah, I also say to a lot of models that agencies are just a supermarket.
But they'll get you jobs, but it is just a supermarket.
No, it's a supermarket. You're just a box sitting on a shelf.
Yeah.
If nobody's ever seen or heard of that box before, there's very little chance they'll buy it.
Yeah, it's true.
But if they've seen stuff on Instagram and Facebook and all those, they go,
They'll
oh,
go.
she's that girl.
I'll go to my, yeah, true. Anyway, that was a really long-winded answer. Sorry, guys. Any plans on putting your book together in the near future? From Kevin.
We had a little meeting with a
Publisher,
a
yeah, we
printer.
did.
No, printer, not publisher.
Same thing.
We did. I'm nearly ready. Nearly.
Really? We're getting close. We're getting
Nearly
close,
ready.
guys.
Getting close.
Maybe
but
before Christmas. That'd be a really good Christmas
there's
present.
no hope. No, we'll do a calendar this year.
Okay, we'll do a calendar for next year. A 2023 calendar. We'll do that.
Oh, we were going to do the Beck calendar.
We were going to do that.
Yeah, we'll do the Beck calendar. Keep hassling us, and it'll happen. Last year, Beck pulled the pin on it because we didn't think about it till December the 22nd.
We'll do a Beck calendar if you guys want 12 months of
A Beck nude calendar.
Oh my God. This is what I have to put up with. Okay, I've got 6 weeks of this non-stop coming up. Pray for me.
I can find someone else.
No, it's fine. I will do it. It's fine.
I know a couple of people.
I'm going to start meditation. I'm going to speak to Tanya and start meditation before we go to Europe. Frederick would like to see a video on the legal sides of photography. What photos can and can't be used for the difference between editorial and commercial explanation, plus model releases.
The legal side's really hard because every single country is different.
But we could do a video on it. I mean, if we waffle on
Every
about
country is
now.
way different. The rules in America, the rules in Australia, to no rules in China or no rules in some of the Middle Eastern countries, no rules in India about copyrights. It's just so all over the place. The difference between, it's no different to music. People will say heavy metal, death metal, this metal, this metal, this metal, trance, side trance, house trance, all those different. Unless you're really into that type of music, you can't hear the difference.
Yeah.
But the people into that music can label each of them really quick. And fashion's the same. So we've got high-end haute couture, we've got fashion, we've got e-commerce, we've got commercial, we've got editorial, advertorial, all of those things. Some of them are only a tiny bit different, but trying to get somebody to see it who hasn't looked at that area a lot will struggle to see the difference.
That's true. Music's a good way of putting it.
But yeah, in fact, editorial, don't even bother about, nobody does it anymore. There is few magazines that do it, but they've got their Marios and their Patrick, well, they can't do it anymore. He doesn't. No, they've got their set photographers that do their work, and if you want to have a good idea of how the fashion industry used to work, you've got to watch the September issue. And if you don't get the September issue, you don't get why Annie Winters got these 5 amazing pictures and said, nah, and threw them on the floor, you won't get fashion. But if you do understand why these incredible fashion photos, she said, on the floor, rubbish bin, then you'll understand how fashion works. Fashion.
How much do you like caviar for submissions, at least till we get more noticed? Been published by about 10 times. Wait. I'm not understanding. Anyway, I know what the site is. I looked it up. I think I was after a live stream. I've never heard of it before, but it's like a website where you go and then I think people pick up your work for magazines. Like you go and publish your work and then other people go and pick it up. I think that's how it works.
Yeah.
But I don't think you've heard of it, have you?
I think I know of something close to what. Problem is, there's a lot of the stuff that gets picked up, there's a chance you're not going to get paid for it. You got the lucky of being published, because every one of you out there right now, when was the last time you bought a magazine? How are they even been?
Yeah.
I can't even tell you the last magazine I bought. I used to spend over $300 to $400 a month on magazines, and I could not tell you the last magazine I bought.
Yeah.
Magazines is dead. Everyone's got this hang up about being published. Doesn't make you any more famous or anything. That you're not going to get paid for it now. Maxim, if you want to get cover of Maxim, you need to pay $10,000 to $20,000 to have a cover. You're not going to get paid for it. So the whole world is completely different. We have some amazing things that cost nothing. It's called social media.
Yeah.
Steer clear of 500 pics and things. Steer clear of any site which is a photography site. They're not your clients. Take amazing pictures, only put the very best on whatever social media platform you decide to work, and if you can attract some big names onto you, you're killing it.
Yeah. But things like 500 pics, that's just like for photographers to pat each other on the back. And
no, to actually tell them how bad their photo is and they should have cropped it this way. And why'd you cut the big toe off? Yeah.
Richard would like to know, moving right along, Richard would like to know, is the monitor you edit on important?
It is in the way, yes and no. I just spent $9,000 on my monitor. But I used to have 2 ISOs, and if I bought the 2 new ISOs today, it would have cost me about the same amount of money. But the high-end Apple super expensive thing was $1,600 for a stand, so I didn't buy the stand. So much easier for me to edit both video and stills. Even the new laptop, and I was talking to somebody the other day, and I thought, it might have been Peter McKinnon or someone like that, said never ever video edit on a laptop. Now they're comfortable doing it, and I'm the same. When we're away, I was editing and it was sort of like having the screens they've got now are just to die for. I can work on a little laptop screen and still edit really high quality work. So
they're good.
Jump onto the better screens, especially like even the new Apples are pretty cool. NEC making really good ones. Or you can go ISOs and things like that. It's just, I don't know. I think ISO have gone too technical, like too perfect. But the whole world isn't perfect anymore. We used to need perfect color for print, but now we're not printing anything. Nobody calibrates their computers anyway, so nobody's seeing perfect color anyway anymore. So as long as you have it look good on a Mac, you know that 50 to 70% of the world thinks it looks good. Yeah, what are you giggling about?
Just a comment.
Just a comment.
Just a comment.
I love you.
That's cute. Derek has said that they've learnt more watching us than he has in the last 3 years of uni. And the cost of the workshops, they understand the kidney was a compliment, just meaning the extent they would go to so they could attend. It's really nice, thank you.
I failed school, like all of school. And I try and teach photography the way that my brain can cope with it, which is explain it like you're 5.
Because you mentally are still 5.
I am.
Peter Pan.
I am.
Boy who never grew up.
I'm still like farting in the bath.
Oh my God. Gross.
I try to simplify very complicated things down, and that's very hard to do, but the more I can do it, the easier it gets for me to explain things like light. And one of the best things I learned was how to see light. And the amount of people said, you got to learn how to see light, and that just meant nothing to me. Well, where's light? Oh, there's the sun, there's the light, I can see it. When you actually do one of my workshops, or you see how I can manipulate light with a single step, like the model takes a step or I take a step, will change the light minutely but fix the problems.
You see the light. Hallelujah.
I refuse to see the light on our shoots anymore, right? You can put up with bags under your eyes and see what I got to put up with. And she doesn't pay me for this. At least I pay you for you to put up with me.
I pay you in.
No, don't say that. Please don't say that.
I pay you in typing.
I'm married.
I pay you in typing.
In typing. Look at her nails. 3 letters a minute.
No, I'm good at that. I pay you in assistance.
Did I finish? Yeah. Yeah, I found uni useless to me, and when I went to sound college, which was completely different way of teaching, because there is no rules in sound, because one of our biggest rules in photography is not to clip. One of the most used things in sound is distortion.
Yeah.
So we purposely clip sound to get a sound. So that's the difference, is that freedom to go out and play and then learn to control the freedom you have.
Jacob said they just entered this live stream and they're a total noob. What are stops?
Stops?
Yeah.
F-stops?
I don't know, I guess.
F-stops is the vision up of, so you've got, cameras can be 1 stop, 2 stop or 3rd stops. So if you put your camera in 3rd stops, every 3 clicks is a stop. How's that worked for you?
Yeah, probably confused you. I'm sure there's probably a
Stop
video.
Stop is a means of measuring something to do with light.
Yeah.
So stops can be either in shutter and f-stops, and then you've got your ISOs. That's me being technicals.
I think I already answered South Africa. Or maybe I jumped ahead before. I think we've fallen behind. That sounds unlike us. New Zealand, did you try to do New Zealand one year? And there wasn't
New
enough.
Zealand, we sold out when it was free.
Ah.
We had like 350 people jammed into the auditorium.
Okay.
As soon as we made it $1, we couldn't get a person there. No, not putting New Zealand. No, we tried to do New Zealand twice and we just couldn't get interest, and we were able to keep the pricing the same as what we do in Australia, but we just couldn't get the interest, so we stopped trying.
We could try again though. We've had a lot of people actually say New Zealand, so we could try again.
Yeah, I suppose a lot of people said Germany. We tried Germany and struggled, but then we tried again and it just went, we nearly sold out. It was like really, yeah.
We nearly sold out in Germany actually. I'm excited. Eat some schnitzels. And greetings from Germany. Chris would like to hear some of your thoughts about Helmut Newton. What do you think is the essence in his work, and what is important to match this style?
All right, I think the best way to explain Helmut Newton is something he said in one of his own, I think there's a series of videos, I think they're on YouTube, so you can watch them. I think it's June Newton shooting Helmut Newton. June bought Helmut Newton a video camera, he hated it, so he threw it back at her. So she decided to video him. Just everyday stuff, breakfast, talking on the phone, his afternoon nap on the couch, also on shoots, and then June would just ask him the odd question. And one of the best things I ever heard him say was, all he's trying to do is show the world little snippets of life behind the doors of the rich and famous. So the stuff you would never ever see, but in someone's house this would be going on.
Yeah.
So his photos were all about the story. And a lot of people saw the wrong side of it because they were too offended by a naked body or submissive of a woman or something. They didn't look into what the story was. And especially that series that Helmut Newton did with June, there's a couple of awesome scenes, and I think one of them was Claudia Schiffer or Cindy Crawford, one of them walking down the stairs and him so fussy about the way the fat rippled down her leg when she took the step. And it's little things like that. He has a picture he's seeing. He doesn't want perfection. He wants to tell his story the way he sees it. And when it comes to fashion, again, he wants to show the world fashion within an everyday scene rather than make the everyday scene about the fashion. But yeah, no, absolutely. I don't know. Helmut Newton, I can look at his work forever. It's just something about his work that's raw, but so clever.
You loves him. Loves him lots. Matt, who just came to our Brisbane workshops, says thank you.
Who's Matt?
He came to our Brisbane workshops.
Thanks,
And thank you for the awesome time. And says, I have my wine and you have probably a bourbon, Southern Comfort. And he's got absinthe in the hand.
He's got absinthe. That's ages since I've had absinthe.
I've never had it.
Haven't you?
No, we should try it.
I think I've still got a bottle of Marilyn Manson, I think, at home.
I want to chase the green fairy.
You want to chase? No, don't put the green fairy in there anymore.
It's
not in there.
He also wants to know if you have a recommendation for a first light.
For a first light?
Yeah.
The best you can afford.
Okay. Fair.
Because if you don't like it after a year, you'll still be able to sell it for a reasonable amount of money. But if you buy the bottom, the cheapest, good luck even trying to sell it.
Yeah, fair. So you might have just wasted money.
Yeah, the best you can afford, because if you buy something that's really good and you do it for a long time, you'll still have it. Because I've got broncolor packs that would have to be 16-year-olds now, and they still work fine. The ones up there.
Yeah. David would like to know the videos on YouTube, are they the same as on Inspire without the ads, or is there more content? No, there is so much more content.
A lot more content.
So on YouTube, typically what we'll do is we'll film something for Inspire and it'll be scratch. And you'll see Peter building the light, going through the entire setup, him doing all his tiny little mini adjustments.
My thinkings.
You're thinking what he's doing, it's really, really in depth. And then what we do for YouTube is we just cut like a little section out of that and dumb it down. And then that's what you get on YouTube. But if you want to actually see the learning and the whole big setup, and there's no ads as well. That's what Inspire's for. And then there's also, we don't put everything that's on Inspire on YouTube. There are some that are exclusive Inspire only. So that's where all the main content is. YouTube's kind of like we still want to give you guys tutorials because...
Yeah, we're still not hiding stuff from you. We're still giving you information away, but we're not going into the depth. So recently we did something that went on YouTube and Inspire. And I think what went onto YouTube was about 12 minutes. What went on Inspire totally was about 30 minutes. So yeah, and there is stuff that's a lot more into depth. There's stuff where we don't cut out certain things because of censorship. There's also banter that happens on there that there's a percentage of YouTubers are going to say that's politically incorrect and cancel me, whereas on our own site you'll see a little bit more of who we... Well, you're not on
I'm not on there as much. I'm just here for you guys.
She's still on it, but she's not, because Inspire is a lot more...
heavy duty teaching.
Teaching, yeah, a lot more teaching. So if you've seen stuff that's on YouTube and we say the whole thing's on Inspire, just think that there might be double or triple what you saw. And it might have been split up into 3 videos, not just one, to cover all the things we covered. And I think a couple of them, like the lighting setup, might have been 20 minutes of me fine-tuning, and you see how much work I put into getting that light perfect.
And we have we've got heaps of retouching ones on there. You can get Peter's Actions, which isn't like a black and white filter.
No.
And then we have model interviews, which are always really interesting. So yeah, there's heaps of stuff on there.
And we have Volley for anybody who would like to join me.
And we have that as well. So you can speak to Peter one-on-one. And
that was a good ad for Inspire.
It was a good ad for Inspire. Why we should cut that and then no, we shouldn't. Anyway, I'm just going to keep reading. Greetings from Poland. Nice to see you while the sun is on this side of the earth. I have a question. Maybe it's already been asked. Peter, you have your style, etc. But what? That's where it ends. The suspense, the anticipation.
Maybe you've read it wrong. Now, Peter, you have your style, etc. But.
It's Patient.
Anticipation. It's not Twitter where it cuts off after 7.
No, I don't
I have
know.
my style, but that is who I am. And I think I know where you might be going. So many people say, how do you make money taking those pictures?
Well, but most people book you for colour.
Yeah, but we still make money.
Oh, yeah, 'cause people buy your photos and stuff.
No, but not even that. Still people want to book us because of the pictures we put up.
That as well.
You people who follow us on YouTube, Inspire, and all the others are following. We say like what I do, so we make money out of all those things. People on Instagram and that gets our following higher. So then we go into the feed, so more people see us, where clients can feed us and go, "Oh wow, he's a good photographer. Let's get him to shoot colour."
Yes.
Yeah. Beck gets to see how many commercial clients make me shoot colour.
Yeah, so pretty much all of them. It's really funny. Has anyone ever stopped and said hello when you're both out on a shoot in the city? Yes.
Beck was so happy she got recognised. Where was it?
In Brisbane.
In Brisbane. She got recognised in public.
Last Friday we were in the middle of the workshop and we tell everyone, like, leave your bags with me, and Peter's off teaching and someone comes up to me and I thought it was someone doing the workshop because they walked up and were like, "Beck?" And I was like, "Yeah, what's up?" He's like, "Oh, it is you." And I was like, "Yeah." Then I realised he wasn't doing the workshop. And then I was like, he's like, "Oh, I've seen you on YouTube and like in these videos, and wait, that's Peter Coulson." I was like, "Yeah, it is." He's like, "Oh, wow." And then I felt like a celebrity. So I told
She even told you,
I called my boyfriend and I was like, "So when I get home on Monday, I would like the red carpet rolled out, please. I want a star above where I sleep at night." I'm a celebrity. But no, you get stopped more than I. We were coming back from somewhere, like a road trip somewhere. We've been away down at the beach shooting. We pulled into a service station.
Oh,
we were just getting food and someone recognised Peter and I was like, "Oh wow, no way."
What was it when we were shooting your shot in Paris?
In Paris, we got
So we're sitting on the footpath. I'm doing one of my shots where it makes Beck look like she's naked on the streets. And it was a busy street, lots of people walking around. I'm sitting there. These 3 ladies walked down. One of them said, "Oh, Peter Coulson." And I think she was American or something. And she just random on the streets of Paris. Yeah, no, it's lovely. I get embarrassed though, but she doesn't get embarrassed, I do.
I love it. I feel like a celebrity.
I feel like a celebrity.
I'm embarrassing myself, so.
I'm going to get you a I'm Paris Hilton t-shirt.
I'm Beck Paws.
I'm Beck Paws. We should do that.
Oh wait.
Oh wait.
Oh no, people David said they've only been on. Oh no, people are up and people are talking to themselves. Sorry, I was getting confused.
They're talking to themselves.
No, they're like replying to each other. It's cute. They're having
cute.
chats. Peter, what's your opinion about Pentax K1?
Don't know, never used it. I don't go, all right, so the best thing to say to you is think of whatever car you drive. What do you reckon of the car that you didn't drive, which is like it? You don't go just running out and test driving. Well, I don't. So I get so many people saying, "What do you think about Fuji? What do you think about this?" Well, while I'm happy with my gear, I'm not even looking at any other gear. And recently I did change I've still kept my camera, so I'm using a brand I'd never used before. But that was 1 month friggin' from when I very first walked into the shop to when I made my decision. That was a month of homework, a couple of demos to play with, to see if I really did want this camera and was this camera going to do something different than the gear I've already got isn't doing. So yeah, I don't just go out. One of the reasons we don't do gear reviews is because give me a new camera, I'm going to want a month to play with it before I can give you an honest opinion.
Yeah. You don't just want to sit there and be like, "It's great," because you're being told to say it's great.
I don't want to do like most of them, release date. All they do is go to the website, watch it, and then just repeat the same crap.
Yeah, it's not really a review, is it?
No.
People are asking where their pizza is and if there's pizza on the workshops. I did get pizza last week in Brisbane, and in London I think we had pizza.
We did pizza. We had great pizza in London. That wood-fired pizza.
We'll probably do that again.
Did we put that video up of you eating, or is that just something I've got?
I don't know. I think it's just something you've got. I sometimes
demolished
get pizza.
a whole pizza in one mouth.
A slice, not a whole pizza. It was a huge slice, but sometimes there's pizza. It's my favourite food. So, speaking of me, what is my diet training / exercise program? Thanks, Peter. My diet is mostly wine and pizza.
Her exercise is walking to the fridge or dialing the home delivery pizza. That's her finger exercise.
my exercise is stressing.
Oh, stressing, yeah.
I like to try to exercise, but I'm a very lazy person. I do get a lot of exercise when we are traveling, just walking around.
Trying to keep up with me?
Yeah,
Did you become a slow coach?
No, it's just...
You used to be a quick walker, now you're one of those slow people.
I'm so fast. You're just Speedy Gonzalez. But I walk a lot when we're traveling. Other than that, I'm just one of those really annoying people that was born with a good metabolism. It is slowing down though as I'm approaching 30, but...
Well, with me, you've seen all those people who do the bum exercise, get the big Kardashian bums. Yeah. I'm working on my stomach really hard. I've been doing heaps and heaps of building the stomach muscles.
Oh my God.
I can lift a car with this stomach.
Really?
I reckon I could.
Oh my gosh. And someone said they asked, this is really far behind. They asked that as I literally grabbed a slice of pizza, so we're really far behind. Just want to, from the UK, just wondering if you do constructive
Nope.
criticism.
You should look at your own photos because you have to make yourself happy. If I critique your photos, I'm telling you what it would be if it was my photo, but it's not my photo, it's your photo. You really, really, really have to learn to look at your photo and go, this is good or this is crap. And if you say this is crap, pick up your camera and go out and do it again.
And when we did the beach shoot with Rara, was the flash the A10 or the A1? We've since found out it's the A1.
Oh, did you put A10 in there?
Because you kept calling it the A10.
I wouldn't have a clue what any number or letter means. You know that.
And I listened to you and didn't check.
Why would you do that?
So it's the A1.
It's the A1. I thought it was the A1. I think you told me it was the A10.
No, I would never.
Yeah, would never.
I'm not a photographer.
Good bail. Well done.
I think someone asked before, because I said you're going to the F1, I think they asked about...
If it was an F10.
No. I think they asked about your favourite racer, but also now Julia has asked, are you visiting the F1 races in Europe?
No, so I don't think they're anywhere. Before COVID, we had all booked in to do Austin and then Mexico week after week. I was so looking forward to that, and then some friggin' bug came out and destroyed that. Anyway, I love Ricardo. I just wish he drove for Ferrari because I love Ferrari.
I want a Ferrari.
You want a Ferrari. So, Beck's page of the GoFundMe is now for a yacht and a Ferrari.
I don't have. Oh wait, no.
GoFundMe.
Yeah,
it wasn't
that's
your
fine.
cam girl page, so we're not allowed to talk about that.
Oh my goodness, I've got the giggles now. What do we think of the trendy style of photography now? Film like fuzzy kind of shit quality.
It doesn't matter. If someone likes it, they'll make a living. Seriously, there's no right or wrong. It's people who are putting all these filters on Instagram and stuff like that. There's people that love it, so why is it wrong?
Yeah.
So yeah, I have no problem at all. Look at me, I shoot black and white.
Except for if you're shooting me.
Except for shooting back, yeah.
Is there any plans for a Stefania shirt?
We could do one. She'd be happy for us to do one. I don't know what picture I'd put on.
Yeah, it's hard because with the shirts, it's got to be shot with a certain background. Like normally
Peter
will...
needs to be a dark or a light background.
Yeah, normally Peter will shoot a shot specifically for a t-shirt.
There's some really cool stuff that nobody's seen yet, which I could do a shirt out.
That'd be cool.
Yeah, I'll have a look at it. Stefania would be wrapped if we did one, so.
Thomas has seen you using Imaging Edge instead of Capture One when tethering the Sony. Why do you prefer the Sony software? Because Peter doesn't like Capture One.
It's horrible. It's so sharp. It's so digital. It's everything. Every slider you move it a millimetre and it's gone doomph, doomph. The curves just go break. I don't know. I used to use Capture One years and years ago, maybe 14 years ago with my Canon. Maybe 12 years ago, and I didn't mind it then. Then I got onto Hasselblad and had a crap, shitty program they had called Flex Color, which had like 2 sliders, and it taught me how to do everything with 2 sliders. And since I've gone there, then Focus has come out, which I didn't like at first because it had 3 sliders. But yeah, I really. How long have we spent trying to get my look in Capture One?
Oh, way too long.
What happened last time we were in Milan? I tethered to Capture One, took photos.
I told him to turn that off because it's disgusting.
Beck refused to let me shoot her while she was seeing what was coming up on the screen.
My skin was
just over digitized crap. So yeah, the Sony gives me the ability to tether really easy. It saves. I get one copy in the camera, one copy down there. It's really quick to use. I'm still doing my raw workflow. Like I do my culling through Photo Mechanic, which is really like that program, renaming sorting it all out and everything. And then I just go to my A-list pictures, drag it straight over Photoshop, let it open in ACR. I've built some LUTs, which tricks ACR that it's still in color, but it's come up with a red, green or blue channel or a couple other channels I made. So you see black and white, but I have all the sliders still for color. So now I can do what I do in Hasselblad in ACR with my Sony or my Leica camera, which I didn't buy. It's not an M11.
It's not news. Do we have more? Rocky would like to know if we have more videos of Abby and Layla coming to inspire.
Another one of
We've got another one of Layla still to edit, and if we can tie those beautiful girls down, definitely. But they've just been so busy recently.
Well, isn't she's up Surface or something at the moment?
They both are. They're up there together.
Oh, of course they are. They only go everywhere in the world together.
But we've been thinking about doing a shoot with both of them.
Yeah.
Which would be really cool.
Yes.
Now that Layla's now she's signed with the same agency as Abby, and she's getting a lot more work as well. So we've seen Layla go from very first shoot, never shot before, to now she's signed and she's doing commercial work. It's so great to see the growth in her. So we wanted to wait till they were on a similar-ish level to shoot them both together, and then we'll film that as a tutorial for you guys. But they're both just flat chat with
Not just them.
And us, sorry,
we don't have many free days
I'm
at the
just
moment.
delirious at this point. Like, tomorrow is my first day off in 2 weeks.
2 weeks, yeah.
Woo, I'm going to sleep in.
I'm going F1.
I do the washing.
I've got a drink.
I'll do that as well. Do you prefer, I don't know what that was. Do we prefer to work with, or do you prefer, sorry, not we, just you, with professional models or with #me, like not models like me? So models that don't actually commercially model like me, which is what not a model is.
Neither, I just prefer to work with the type of model I like to work with.
Fair.
So there's some professional models that are absolute pain in the butt, and there's some professional models that are so unprofessional, they're awesome. Yeah, so no, I don't. There's a style of model, and Becca's starting to be able to just even see a picture and go, that's Peter's style. And it's a model that just doesn't give a rat's.
And then there's
just really not uptight. I can pour goop in their hair and they don't care.
And then there are people like me that aren't models, but you look at them and you're like, they could be a model, but they're just a pretty girl, and that's all they want is just a pretty photo.
Pretty photo.
And like that's fine. Some people will be able to. Well, people will be able to get a pretty photo out of them, but that's not what you want.
No, because everyone just gets the same pretty photo. Yeah. You can't impart your look onto them. But yeah.
Do you calibrate your lenses?
I have once or twice in my life, but I haven't had to. Most of the Zeiss lenses have been good. Don't own any Canons anymore. I got one a tilt shift, and really it wouldn't matter. No, I don't. I haven't needed to. I think one of my Hasselblads had to calibrate once, and that was it.
Calvin would like to know what we think of Lee Alexander McQueen's work.
Amazing. Love. I wish he was still alive, because even though the latest couple of collections have been really, really cool, especially with the corseted denim and things like that, it was absolutely amazing. I don't know, McQueen himself just had this edge that I don't think anybody can
He was my favourite. Yeah. Him and Vivienne Westwood, two of my favourite designers of all time. And his documentary is phenomenal. If anyone hasn't seen it, go watch it. It is so good. It's a little bit sad at the end, obviously. But have you seen it?
Not yet. I know it's sacrilege.
It's so good.
Have you seen A Green Mile yet?
No.
What was the movie we worked out? You hadn't seen Top Gun ever yet.
No, my best friend's nickname is Goose.
Yeah. You idiot.
Scott would like to know how much percentage of our time do we spend marketing?
Very little.
Very little. Peter doesn't advertise his photography.
At all.
At all.
How, have you ever seen me ever advertise? Have you ever seen me spend a single minute advertising my photography? Not.
Whereas things like with
workshops and
Inspire, we do a mail out.
We have a mail out to people already on following us.
Yeah, and we post flyers on Instagram, and then we've got our YouTube where we'll talk about it. But other than that, we used to do paid Facebook ads, but we found it was wasting money. They weren't getting anything. I remember I used to do...
the robots. Remember the robots would come in and just, the 1,000 people viewed you. Yeah, right.
But then I started doing a survey after workshops, asking people how you found out about the workshop. But basically, I think one person over the course of like a year said through a Facebook ad, and everyone else said like through Instagram or word of mouth, or social media in general. Anyways.
But for our photography, I'm nearly certain I've never spent a cent on advertising. Some of the work I would do though, I might get an offer from a magazine. If you do this editorial, we won't pay you for it. We'll give you 6 pages.
Just gonna check out
and
battery.
It was a high-end magazine. I knew if I got 6 pages in that magazine, I was going to pick up at least 5 or 10 jobs out of it. So I'd do things like that. But it's one of those things, you all know it. As soon as an ad comes on, you turn off. So I work the other way. I tend to...
No, I'm too dark.
You're too dark. Did you turn it down?
Well, because you were overcooking.
Yeah, it's what I'm drinking. We could move that light.
No, it's fine.
It's fine.
It's fine.
Sorry. Yeah, I'm a little bit... My whole business set and the way I've run all my businesses, which has made 4 businesses in my life, have always been on get people to want it by seeing the product rather than trying to sell them the product. They see it and just go, I want that, where can I buy it? And you didn't even say it was for sale. Anyways.
Yes. When Stephen would like to know, when printing black and white, do you use the coloured inks or just the black inks?
Coloureds.
But it's black.
Coloureds.
Why do you use colour? How does that work?
That's what Epson does. It gets better. And even Les, all my profiles for coloured. And it does look better because before I had Les profile it, I did print a bit in grayscale and it just didn't seem to have the gradients in the midtones of the greys. That's a mean Les thing.
You and Les thing.
Yes.
Cutes.
But the main thing I do is send it off, the bigger stuff, the stuff for gallery or the stuff that's for big purchase prints is sent off to professional printers who decide the best paper and the amount it needs to sharpen for what gets lost when it's printing and so forth. And they get the very best look out of it.
Michael has said greetings from Denmark, and they have their first shoot with a paid model on Monday and get a lot of inspiration from both of us. So thank you for sharing. Well, good luck with it. I hope that goes well, and that's awesome. And thank you. That's really nice.
You inspire him to drink, do you?
Gareth said, will we consider a paid live stream of our workshops? Can't afford the London workshop. I think we've tried.
We've done, like if you go back in the YouTubes, you'll find that we did some live shooting a few times. It just gets so sloppy and we get sound will drop or some, we're not a TV station.
It's not the same, and because the workshops are
very interactive.
Yeah, it's very interactive. So us doing like a live workshop, it would still be, I don't know, it just wouldn't be the same. Like we want to keep our online content as it is, and then our in-person stuff more hands-on, where you get a chance to actually go up and shoot. And portfolio builder, yeah, that's a portfolio builder, but Peter's teaching days, you still get to shoot, still have to take some reference photos and that. But if we're doing a live one, I'm personally not into the whole remote shooting thing, so I wouldn't even try and set up something like that. I don't know, it's something to consider, but now that we're coming back into the bug's gone.
Every time we've tried to do a live,
yeah, it's hard.
There's always some technical glitch and
technologies.
And yeah,
we'd really love to though. Like I really wish we could. It's just.
But that's why we just say that's why Inspire's there for the people who can't afford it. And now, I keep harping on this, but now we've got this new little platform attached to it. I'm pretty much live there to answer any question. You watch a thing, you don't get something, you just stop it, pick up your phone, volley me, and then the next time I'm awake or I'm there, I'll just answer you the exact, no different as if you're at the workshop. Anyway, off we goes.
Rob said, thanks again for a great weekend at the Brisbane workshops. You are welcome.
So they didn't get enough of me. So now they're watching me live. Imagine their partners are thinking, oh my God, he's going to leave me for Peter.
And Nick who came to Melbourne workshops, has said, hey, hello Nick. He's asked me what wine I'm having. I actually don't know what the name of it is. It is good. And those 2 bottles of wine that you very generously gifted me with.
She broke both.
No, I didn't. They were really good. So thank you very much for that appreciation. Wait, I saw a question. Oh no, there it is. Doug would like to know what you think of red BMWs. Doug.
Melbourne red. If it's Melbourne red, it's the best, but they're so much faster.
I love that we've just had an influx of people that have come to workshops over the past month. Like, do you guys really like us that much?
No, I think it's called payback.
Nick would like to know what you think of the Hass X1D Mark II and how does it operate with speed of shooting compared to your big beast Hass bodies?
My favourite camera in the world is my big beast Hass. The only thing is going out and shooting with natural light. The mirrorless just make my job easier. For one main reason, I can set my viewfinder to black and white, so I'm actually seeing light through my viewfinder, not colour. Whereas I've got to take a picture, even on the Hasselblad, the H6, I still got to take a picture, and I'm only seeing the return picture in colour as well. So I get frustrated that I'm not seeing light, I'm seeing colour. And when you see colour, you can't see light properly. And that's one of the main reasons I love mirrorless. When the X came out, it's now given me the same quality, exact same quality as my H6. My viewfinder is not in black and white, and my pictures on the back of the screen are not in black and white, and I don't have zebraing or overexposure warning in the viewfinder. I have focus peaking, which is sloppy, so it doesn't really fit my love. And I've seen, especially on the weekends, we've done some workshops with lots of people with the newer mirrorless cameras. I'm just going, what's the use of having a mirrorless if it's not giving you all the information you want to see in your viewfinder? So you can go, she moved a bit, she's over cooking on her hair. You can see it straight away. You don't have to take a picture and look into your display to see the overexposure going off or zebraing. You can actually see it in your viewfinder and goes, oh, she's cooking, change my settings, bang. That's the whole idea of mirrorless, is so you see your final picture in the viewfinder before you click, and if it's too dark, too light, you can see your depths, everything like that. And yeah, that's the H6 is still my favorite camera in the world, but the mirrorless by lots of companies that are making mirrorless at the moment have lost the whole idea of why we would want a mirrorless. Why we're going to lose the optical viewfinder for a little TV there, but then not let us put any information in that TV.
Yeah.
So that annoys me like hell.
It's silly. And Nils would like to say hey from Switzerland. We will be there in 3 weeks and I'm very excited. I can't wait for those restaurants that we like. It's all about the food for me, anyways.
So which one? The Italian? The pizza?
Yeah, the Italian one's pretty good, but we're also going to Muller. I like that really nice one in town.
Yeah, that's a bit nice.
That's a bit nice. Yeah. Love your content. They mostly shoot outside and need to be flexible. What flash and modifier could you recommend? Natural light only is amazing, but sometimes can be limiting, which, yes, we would know from being in Switzerland can get.
Beck should be able to answer this, so can you describe what flash I use when I'm shooting natural light?
Well, during the day you don't.
That's the answer.
And at night time you just have your little on-camera flash, but during the day Peter doesn't use any flash or you just use natural reflectors, so he'll use like a white card or like bounce light in. But no, He doesn't typically like the look of natural light with flash, but that's just a Peter thing. It's not saying that it's wrong or that's gospel. It's just what he doesn't like. So probably not the best person to ask that. I'm sorry.
Yeah, it's just not my look. And we did a little, it's Coke, by the way.
What? What else would it be?
Coke. It's not beer.
Oh.
We
You
did a
wouldn't
little.
drink canned beer anyways. You only drink Coronas.
No, I don't. I drink
I said that like
Kilkennys.
such a sassy, like Californian. I was like, Coronas.
I drink Kilkennys.
Oh yeah, true. That is canned beer. I forget that doesn't count as a beer.
I drink Guinness.
That also doesn't count as a beer. Now everyone's going to tell me off and say that it is a beer. Okay, I'm sure it is. I just don't classify it as one because it's.
I did that thing recently using on-camera flash while shooting Rara. The amount of people said, that's not really my look.
It's okay, it doesn't have to be, babes.
No, but what it was to show people if you don't have the gear, you can actually use a bit of natural light and a bit of on-camera flash, and it doesn't even look like an on-camera flash shoot because it's been balanced. But yeah, I have friends that are. Oh, you need to go to the toilet, huh? Sorry. I have friends, and a couple of them are very high up commercial photographers. They're making, shooting covers like Australia Vogue and stuff like that. And their look has always been reflectors, scrims, flashes, and all of it outside. And they do amazing work, but it's not my look. Even though people like Peter Lindbergh, who I absolutely adore, a lot of his shoots are lit like Hollywood sets. He's got big HMI set up, or he has his tent and then brings lights on into his tent. Like he might have a HMI and he might have a beauty dish or something like that. The tent I love, but I don't like then bringing that light in on a natural light shoot. And I know it makes my job harder, much harder, especially on overcast days, because I need the sun to be able to light properly. But as soon as I bring a flash into a natural light look during the day, all I can see is the flashlight, and I start to feel that the person has been cut out and stuck into the background. So that's just a me thing. It's like we all have our styles and what we like and what we hate, and I'd be more comfortable lighting with a constant light, but to do that properly, you've got to use really big ones and big diffusers and stuff like that. And I don't want assistance.
Thanks.
I've already got one nightmare. I don't want two. No, Beck's my personal assistant.
Yeah,
her job is to give me foot massages and head. No.
Gross. I do not get paid enough money for that. Thank you very much.
No, Beck's job is to look after the management of my
business
calendars and bookings and arrange so the clients and models and everyone turns up, and all of those things. Make sure there's enough wine in the cupboard for Beck. Make sure that we've got cigarette lighters here when she runs out. Make sure.
I feel like one of those, actually.
But yeah, so
Make sure everyone's happy.
I really enjoy working without any assistance because it's
Photographic
just me.
assistant.
Photographic assistance. It's just me. I love setting up lighting. I haven't got a problem with packing it down. I'm getting a bit old for carrying heavy bags now. Sydney hurt a bit. Hurt a bit. But everything else about it is I like that very small footprint when I'm out and shooting, and I can shoot lingerie in the city in the middle of the day, and we hardly got harassed, did we?
Yeah.
In a whole day, we only had that tiny little two guys that gave a bit of problem in Flinders Street Station. The rest of the day, nobody even blinked. So I much prefer that, and I much prefer just finding the light rather than bringing a flash in.
Peter, how much do you think does gear matter when starting out? Gear doesn't matter at all. No matter if you're starting out or if you're like, whatever level you're at, it doesn't.
If you're starting out, you can start out with an iPhone. Serious. Nick Knight's making a lot of money out of flowers he's photographed with iPhones in his kitchen.
Who is on your t-shirt photo?
Mumbeka. But the really good thing is, see, I can stretch and reshape her.
And my favourite's when if you fold my nose in, I look the funniest. Like, yeah.
I should get one printed like that.
I forgot to wear my t-shirt of you.
Oh.
I'll have to do it next time. I'll have to do it on workshops in Europe. Beck shoot on a Ferrari, hell yes, and then I'll steal it because I really want a Ferrari.
Imagine what those nails would do to the Duco.
What's a Duco?
I was waiting for that. Everybody, can you please tell Beck what the Duco
I
is?
don't. Okay, all right. I'll get to the bottom and I'll explain it. Anyway, any whispers on a new H system Hasselblad?
Yes, not happening. Gone, buried.
R.I.P. in peace.
Yeah, so sad. I have 250s, and hopefully that keeps me going for another 5 to 10 years.
Hopefully. Stu said, I am a star. Thank you.
Yeah, monster.
And that they want my autograph, and my boyfriend is a lucky man. No, he's really not.
He's not lucky.
He's not.
Beck goes away half the year and she makes him look after all her trillions of plants in the house and the cats from hell.
And then I come home and annoy him. He said while I was away he got a lot done because I wasn't there to annoy him. I was like, thank you. Feeling the love. Anyways. Steph said, for starting, hello to us, hello to you too. For starting out in fashion portraits, would you recommend to shoot experienced models, say from an agency, or newbie models? Where is more to learn as a photographer?
If you can make a newbie look good, it takes more skill. The other thing is in a lot of the agencies now, the models aren't fashion models, they're e-commerce puppets that do the Macarena. And I'm not putting them down, that's just the work they got. So if you're not sure what I mean, you know the Macarena, the dance? Well, if you watch very carefully, a lot of the models in agencies, their job is to do their Macarena, look around, and that's a set 6 to 8 moves, and there's never any expression in the face. If you want to be a really good fashion portrait photographer, you need to learn to get expression in the face, and it doesn't really matter what their body is doing.
Hi Peter, from 2 years I've been employed from a big fashion manufacturer in Italy, and previously they had a big photographer and he made this factory very famous from his photos. Now sadly he passed away. I'm 30 years old and I'm filling his shoe. I was wondering what is the best advice to change the mentality and type of photos that they are used to for 50 years.
Very hard. If a company's been going 50 years, they're going to be a lot of companies been going a long time are very set in their way of and their look. Put it this way, if someone wanted to come in and change my look, I'd be fighting against it. So I would tend to work with them and get the best you can get, and the edgiest, the pictures are going to stand out the most. So when they're sitting on an Instagram page or something, you just go straight to that picture. So find ways of making their work stand out. But then on every shoot, and it's no different to what I do on commercial shoots that I find boring, I normally say to the client, so you happy with that? And they go, yeah, with each look. I say, can I just have 5 minutes? I won't charge you for this time. I'll just shoot it how I would shoot it. And it would just be a simple thing of stepping off axis or getting the model to do something completely different. And the amount of times the client goes, oh my God, this is amazing. So I tend to, I would say, do what they want, but try and make it stand out and make it relevant for today without taking away the essence of their business. And then see if you can get permission to do a variation which you say, I'll do it for nothing. And if you don't like it, I'll put it in the rubbish bin. And if they don't like it, it means that either your look is too alien to the type of things they want, or not telling the story of their brand in the way they want it. And only they know their brand, only I know my
Your
brand.
yeah, exactly.
Yeah. I quite often say with clients that I haven't worked with before, I want you to come up, before I shoot, I want you to give me one word to what you want the viewer to feel when they look at the picture. And the amount of clients can't even answer that.
Yeah.
They even give me a hint, like, do you want them to feel happy, sad, warmth, powerful? And so many of them can't come up and says, how am I supposed to create an image if you can't give me a one word as we build the whole shoot around that one word?
Yeah, I think you did it to me the other day. We were going to shoot and you said, you're like, so what are we doing? And I was like, oh, I don't know, whatever.
Oh,
and
yeah,
you were like, and I was like, I just want to look like hot. Like, I just want to look really hot. And you were like, okay, you know what, I can work with that. And I was like, really,
So
that's all it takes?
I put her in the full sun.
What is your day rate?
My day rate depends. It ranges from 2,500 to 5,000 a day. Yeah. Now then there's extras on top of that, like hires and
That's
usage rates. That's just the base rate.
Yeah.
Retouching rate's 220 an hour.
What do you think of entering the Taylor Wessing portrait competition?
The which?
Taylor Wessing portrait competition.
I don't like competitions.
No.
Why do you want to be judged by people who will never book you?
So they can say they're an award-winning photographer.
You can't do that anymore because Aperture Awards have gone. There used to be awards that you pay $30, you'd always get a bronze, and you could say, I'm an award-winning photographer. Then there's online magazines that you can get put in. It costs you $20 to enter a picture and they'll publish you. Now you can say, I'm an internationally published photographer. Do you know not one of your clients would give a rat's about that?
If it was everyday people judging the competition, I'd say like it would be a bit more worthwhile. But if it's just other people that are never going to book you, why would you care?
Or photographers judging you.
Yeah, like it just they're never going to buy your work, so their opinion doesn't really matter.
And yeah, look, I got sucked into that stuff a long time ago, and yes, I won the biggest award you can win in Australia, and I 4 or 5 times won the biggest fashion award you could win in Australia as a photographer. Did nothing to my clients, did nothing, really at the end of the day, did nothing to me. They were just my everyday work I'd done, and these people, because I was so different to anybody else, because everyone else was trying to photograph stuff for these awards, whereas I just submitted my commercial work, it does nothing. It's not why I take photos. I take photos for me. I really don't give a rat's about awards. Awards, I don't know, it's sort of a bit hollow. Oh, all these people think you're really good, but they would never buy your picture.
Yeah.
And you're not going to make any money out of keeping them happy. And is it the best work you've ever done? You look at, no, not really. So to me, it doesn't achieve anything. I think me taking a photo that is good enough to go in my man cave, that means it's a good photo. That was a good day. That was a day I'm glad I'm on this planet for.
Yes.
Do you know the next one?
I do. What is your favourite go-to lighting setup? Octobox.
Or natural light.
Oh, natural. Yeah, but you can't always, it's not a go-to because Mother Nature doesn't allow you to always go to it.
All right, well, Octobox then.
Octobox.
Next
It's
one?
my favourite as well. It's nice and soft and pretty. And then I know the next one as well, which was how many spots are left for our Paris workshop. I'm pretty sure we've got about 7 left from memory, I'd say.
Yeah, I think we've got a few spots in Paris.
Paris is still some
Yes,
going around.
Paris and Milan, I think the other places are starting to book up. But
Yeah.
those
Amsterdam and Frankfurt are getting pretty chockers,
chockers.
but
So if you want to come to me, you really need to get in quick because
yeah,
we're pretty certain
we're
they'll
pretty
go.
sure they're going to sell out. But
Paris has
still
been a
got
little
few.
bit slow and Milan's been a little bit slow.
But realistically, Paris isn't until June, so
Yeah, so it's plenty of
it's quite
time.
a while away.
We're still certain.
But Milan, we've still got spots available, and yeah, other than that, and London, we've still got a couple, but London's filling up pretty quickly as well, yeah. And it just jumped again. Sorry.
Jumped.
It does. I feel like
It's your nails.
No, it's not. It's YouTube's priorities in order. It's all food and wine for Beck. Yes, it is. It's the finer things in life. Where was I? I just see food and wine and my eyes go straight to it. Question, digital and film. Has digital come as good and warm as film, or is it still just cold numbers?
It's really hard. It's like music. Get your favourite special heavy rock song. Something like Akadaka, or you go back to Bad
AC/DC
Company.
for those who are not from
AC/DC
Australia.
who are not Aussie. Bad Company, some Deep Purple, or Zeppelin. Stick it on a vinyl, stick it on a Valve amp, and it's to die for. But that is not actually what that music sounded like. It's been coloured to soften and take the harshness off it. the dynamic range, how quick you can get your peaks of the drum hits and everything like that. It's all been smoothed over to make it much more nice.
Nice.
Film was the same thing. Like people say, oh, they miss the beautiful colours of film, but it was coloured film. It wasn't, you know, if you wanted sort of that beautiful golden, you'd buy Kodak because that was the colour of their packets of film, and then you got Velvia and Provia and all of those. So there's a warmth and a colorization of both of those things which make them pleasing. Digital is more telling you exactly what was there. And like they do with sound, so a lot of sound stuff, they have digital plugins you can put into your DAWs, which is your music making stuff, which will replicate putting it onto tape or putting it onto vinyl and things like that. We do the same with our adding of grain, adding of noise, slightly softening our blacks, you know, just lifting up. All of those things are to make the picture more warm and fuzzy for us to love who love this film look. So I don't see digital as bad. What I do see bad is this little thing in digital called sharpening. We didn't sharpen film, but now we come out of our camera into our RAW program, we sharpen it, we then take it into Photoshop, then we sharpen it, then we resize it, and then we sharpen it, and we're just turning out this CGI looking crap.
Don't you say that sharpening's like salt, like the more you put on, it's like chili as well, the more you put on, the more you need
and sugar. So
and sugar.
Yeah, if you put a sprinkle of salt on your, say, your tomatoes, in a year's time it'll be 2 sprinkles of salt because you've got used to it and you want to add more. Sharpening's very much like that. My workflow has 0 sharpening till output. Then the sharpening is added to what is going to be lost in the output. So if it's going to gloss paper, it'll be sharpened a little bit more than if it was going onto matte paper. If it's going onto internet, it's going to be sharpened about 0.4.
Which is one of your actions. So before
one of my actions, which just takes that little bit of the edge off what the internet tends to do to our pictures when they're at that low res area.
You know,
I'm only trying to get my picture to look the same as it does on my screen as when I load it onto my web page or on social media, so it doesn't look like it lost anything from the original. And I quite often put my hand next to my monitor, and if I go, the picture looks sharper than my hand, there's a problem.
Yeah.
I mean, sharper than real life.
Next question was, have you ever shot with Phase 1?
Yeah, I had many years ago, Phase 1 tried to get me off Hasselblad and offered me a very, very, very lucrative little...
Lucrative? That is a big word for you, Peter.
Very big word. I
Proud.
don't know what it means, but yeah, they offered me a very good deal. I brought out a camera that hadn't even been released, and I had to sign all this shit. I had it for about a month, played with it. The first 2 weeks I played with it, it was, I don't know, it was like going on holidays. It was, oh, this is really cool.
Yeah.
By the end of the month, I'm going, I
want to be home.
I want to be home. I like my Hasselblad because it's not perfect, actually feels a bit like film. And I loved my focus software because I was able to do everything I needed to do, and I started to feel a digital feel of the Phase and the Capture One. The Capture One Phase was a little bit heavier.
Heavier than the Hasselblad?
Sorry?
Like physically heavier?
Yeah.
Oh goodness.
And it was just came down to, I just looked at my files and said, I prefer this. At the end of the day, it was that simple. They just looked at the same model shot with both cameras. On one of my screens, I had Capture One, the other one I had Focus on. One was a Hasselblad. I shot the same picture. I just go, which one do I prefer? I said, I prefer this. So at the end of the day, it didn't come down to the one that was going to financially benefit me. It came down to the one that was going to create the pictures I wanted to create.
Sorry, I'm back. And also, we should wrap up soon.
You better hurry up and ask questions.
I will. Do you only shoot portraits, or do you shoot other forms of photography for personal pleasure? Have you ever shot other types of images? Yes, he used to shoot fish.
Fish.
And now
I shot motorbikes.
And motorbikes.
And I shot fishermen.
Yeah, but yeah.
And
So
landscapes.
He has, but you don't really anymore because your pleasure is shooting portraits. Like,
Well, it's not portraits. I
not
love
portraits,
shooting
like people. Yeah.
And art.
Art.
Yeah, so yeah, I'm shooting what I want to shoot. If I want to shoot landscape, I'd go out and shoot landscape.
True.
It'd be quicker and easier.
Would be. Did you work at the same time with Patrick D. Marcellia? No, you didn't. Jumped again, but we need to wrap up soon. Let me just quickly see. I'm trying to hurry up with my jobs.
Well, if you didn't.
All right, last few. So if you guys want to like quickly jump in, if I've missed anything. Peter, what can you say about the Canon 135mm f2 lens? Is it worth buying for portraits?
Well, I love 135 lens. I've never used the 135 f2. Yeah, I've never owned one. I had, the closest I can say is I had was the Zeiss 135 f2 and absolutely love that lens. So I'm not sure how close it is to that, but I'm certain if it's an f2 it'll be good if it's by Canon.
Yeah. I like the look Canons give. They have a certain look to them. I like it, but that's a me thing.
Like the colour?
Yeah. Yeah, I like the colour. Peter, what do you think is the perfect size for an octabox to be as versatile as possible? 5 foot.
1.5 metres.
Is it the same?
Yes.
I listen to Peter. People always ask me if I'm a photographer and I say no. And then they ask me if I have any interest in getting into it. And I'm like, well, look, I probably could. But I don't know, I could, like I honestly could. I take really good photos of my friends at festivals. Everyone always wants me to take the photo of them because I find the right.
That's because you're laying on the ground.
Because I find the good lighting, and then I get down low so they all look like really tall supermodels. And yeah. Anyway, I do know some things. Are we coming to Sweden? I wish. I really want to go to Sweden.
Maybe next year.
Maybe. We'll see. Let's get
We've got to
this
get through this year first.
We can even have our flights are booked soon. And I can stop stressing a little bit. Which lenses do you like the look of on mirrorless? Do you like Leica, Zeiss, Canon, Minolta, etc.?
Well, I don't. Well, Minolta don't exist anymore.
Oh.
Well, the old lenses are fine. I haven't actually tried it on the old. I've got 2 old Canon lenses. I do love the Leica, certain Leicas. I love Zeiss, but again, for different reasons. Like the Otis are amazing. They're sharp edge to edge, fully wide open. Sometimes I don't want that, so I want the wide open but not the sharp edge to edge. So it seriously changes depending on what I'm shooting. At the moment I would have most likely 8 50mm lenses at the moment.
You do love a 50mm.
I don't use it that often, but no, I've got, yeah. So, and they all get used at some time. So it's more the look that I'm going to get off that lens is why I'm going to use it. Lenses are personal. You need to make it personal. Go out, borrow, hire, whatever you can do, play with them, compare them to whatever you're shooting with, and then make your own decision. What lens do I like more? Do I like shooting a 50 or a 75 or an 85 or 100? This one model, bang, 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 which one is my story? Which one's telling how I want it to be told?
We go through that a lot on workshops. People ask which lens to use and we say, just try them and see which one you like. And then we also...
Well, a lot of them we say, what's your favourite lens? What would you normally pick up? And then we say, well, try shooting with that. And they normally stick to the lens that they is their favourite lens.
Or we also, because Peter's quite a nice person sometimes, he lets people shoot with his lenses and we ask them if there's anything in Peter's kit that's going to fit on your body, you can play with Peter's lenses and have a go with it, because that's the only way you're going to know is if you actually shoot with it and see if you like the feel and the look it gives you. So yes, you're nice to peoples. Sometimes.
Sometimes.
Anyways, we should probably head off.
Have you got to the end of the
important ones? I think so. I mean, I kind of skimmed through. I think I've gotten to everything. I think so. I hope so. If I didn't answer your question, I'm sorry, but
if you Well, if they type it out at the end, we can answer it.
We won't be able to see it.
Don't we see all these afterwards?
I don't know, because once we hit end, I don't know if we can see them anymore.
No, but it doesn't come up as comments.
No. Stays in the chat.
No, people comment on the live streams afterwards.
Oh yeah, you can but not in the live chat. You got to leave
No,
those
go
comments.
to the live stream, to the video.
Comments. Yeah, go to
comments.
the video and leave a comment, and then we'll
If
answer
we didn't
that.
answer, yeah.
Or if you are too embarrassed to ask
Send us
it
an email.
publicly, send us an email. If you want to come see us in Europe, as I said, you can come see us in Milan, Amsterdam, Frankfurt, London, Paris, Switzerland, Zurich and Geneva. You can come there. And you can also sign up to Inspire. Sorry to be a salesy person, but you know.
Where was the hands in all of this? You got to do the hands thing. The
I'll have new
presenter.
nails in Europe as well. Who knows what I will get next?
So
Anyway.
you tell me to hurry up and
No, I'm just saying bye to them. I'm waffling.
waffles.
Okay.
All right.
We're going to go,
Thanks for
guys.
listening to us.
Thanks for listening to us.
Our next live might be from Europe,
Yeah.
if we can get decent internet.
If we can get good internet, which we probably will, because Europe has awesome internet. But,
And
anyways,
I've got a couple of new rants coming up on YouTube soon.
yeah, we're going to need to film them.
Yeah.
All right, well, thank you guys so much. We love and appreciate all of you. Thank you for your awesome questions. Thanks for the chat. And we will see you guys very soon. Ciao for now.